I'm sorry. I think it would be great for the other students to understand this difference between the military patrol officers or law enforcement and the law enforcement, right? In the civil world. So all the cases that you deal with was related to the military, or you could also respond to the case outside? No, right? Everything was related in the military, correct?
As a military police officer, your area of operation, or AO as we call it, was everything within inside the wire.
Okay.
Everything inside of where the base was.
Uh-huh.
There were very few circumstances where we had authority to do anything outside of the base. In Hawaii, it's most of the time it's very specific about whether it's we have the authority or the authorization by the state that the base is in, or if you were in Germany or something like that, then you have to have an agreement with the country about where exactly you can operate. In Hawaii, it was very specific. There were hubs that were considered federal property, and those specific hubs is where we conducted all of our law enforcement operations. Now, any crime that happened inside the wire, we were the ones that responded to it. We were the ones that would address it. I will say Hawaii was unique in the sense that if we had to apprehend a civilian, if the individual was non-combative and it wasn't a safety risk, we weren't even allowed to put hand irons, essentially handcuffs, on the individual. We would have to call the local police, Honolulu Police Department, and they would actually have to come on base and make the apprehension. We would have to explain to them why they have to be arrested, how, the specific elements of the crime that the individual is alleged to have done to justify why the apprehension needed to occur. But any of the traffic related offenses didn't matter, but basically anything else that happened with a civilian, we responded, but then local police had to come out there. Now, in Washington, which is where I finished my time on active duty, completely different. We did not call local authorities unless we just needed additional assistance, meaning we didn't have enough officers. And my year and a half I was out there, almost 2 years, I would say the only time local law enforcement got involved was we had some areas that were outside of the wire that one side of the road was ours and the other side wasn't. And there was a car accident that occurred in the middle of it. And we're like, who's taking it? that sort of thing. But we handled everything. All of the civilians that were apprehended, on the installation, they all went through the federal court system up in Seattle. Everything was done through military justice. Even if it was a military attorney that was the prosecutor, they were prosecuting them in federal court. USC code and the state code is what was used. So it is very, it's unique because a regular law enforcement officer, your local police or even state cop is going to go out and they're going to handle the majority of things. It doesn't hit the detective bureau level until it gets to be a extremely long-term investigation. Even a minor theft, or not even a minor theft, it could be a felony level theft. You're talking over $1,000 or over $5,000, depending on the state's rules. A police officer can handle that. If it was $1,000 theft in the military, that's going to an investigator. The police officer, the regular patrol does not have the time to be able to handle that stuff. We need you back out there, driving around, checking the community out, making sure things are going well. But then everything is very base dependent. There are different rules. We have we have our main code, and we have UCMJ, and we have the state laws in each area and federal code. But every base has what we call the isms. The isms of how and why things are run and operate in that certain place. So it's a little different. But it is, you have federal authority to do all the things that a law enforcement officer would need to do. It's just where your limitations lie, essentially.